The Pilot Varsity is a cigar-shaped fountain pen that sits near the bottom of Pilot's lineup. It's a pre-filled fountain pen that's designed to be disposable, though some people have discovered ways to refill this pen. I'm not going to go over that process in this video, but I will leave links in the description below if you want to see it performed. The pen is offered in a variety of different colors. I have this one in black, but if you get it in other colors, those are designated by different colored finials. The finials are both rounded and they feature holes in the middle, which are there to help prevent choking. The clip is very much in that Pilot style. It's triangular in shape with a ball at the bottom. It's a plastic clip, but it is springy and very functional. The cap has a gradual taper widening down to the bottom, and on one side it does say Japan and nothing else. The cap pulls off to reveal a stainless steel nib. The nib reads Pilot and an M for medium, and on the back we can see a black plastic feed. The section is straight and clear. It's easy to see the fins and the amount of ink that's in the grip section. And then we have two step ups to the barrel. The barrel is then straight all the way back, and it features a diamond shaped print with Pilot Varsity on one side and a little bit of a thicker band on the back, which actually acts as an ink window. If I give the pen a few taps, the ink will settle and we can see how much ink we have right there. The pen in the hand is lightweight, very well balanced, and a comfortable length for long writing sessions. The cap posts securely and fairly deeply. It's a very lightweight cap, so it doesn't really transfer the weight of the pen, and I find that it's very comfortable to use both posted and unposted. In terms of size comparisons, here's the Pilot Varsity, a typical Pilot G2 rollerball pen, and your standard Sharpie. Comparing the Pilot Varsity with a few other fountain pens, up top we have the TWSBI Eco, which is a very popular entry-level fountain pen, and this one is a piston filler. Just below that we have the Pilot Custom 74, which is one of the most popular models that Pilot makes, and it's also an entry-level gold nib pen. And at the bottom we have the Lamy Safari, which again is also a very popular entry-level pen. I have this one in the terracotta color. We can see in their cap forms, the Pilot Varsity is by far the shortest pen. The rest of them are pretty comparable in length. I would say the Eco is the shortest, followed closely by the Safari, and then the 74 is just a little bit longer than the rest. As I mentioned, the Eco is a piston filler. The other two pens here are cartridge converter pens, and the Varsity is a pre-filled, technically eyedroppered pen. All four pens have bent clips. The Varsity is the only one that's not made out of metal. And we can see that the styling of the Varsity pen is very similar to the Custom 74. Let's take a look at these pens with their caps removed. Uncapped, once again, the Varsity is the shortest pen, followed this time by the Custom 74, and then the TWSBI Eco, and the longest pen is the Lamy Safari. The Varsity and the Lamy both have caps that pull off. The other two have caps that unscrew. And let's take a closer look at these nibs. All of the pens here, except for the Custom 74, have stainless steel nibs. The Custom 74 has a 14 karat gold nib. The grip sections on the TWSBI and the Custom 74 are fairly traditional. They have a flare out at the front that tapers back to threads. The Lamy Safari has that fairly controversial triangular shaped grip section that forces your hands to what is called the proper writing position. And the Varsity has a pretty cylindrically shaped grip section that is clear in color. Let's take a look at these pens with their caps posted. All caps post securely. The Varsity is once again the shortest pen when it's posted, followed closely by the Custom 74, and then the TWSBI and the Lamy are about the same length when they're posted. Since this is a pre-filled pen, it's not really designed to be taken apart or to be filled up, so I'm going to skip those two sections of this video and we're going to go right into writing. So again, this is a Pilot Varsity. And our nib is a stainless steel medium. And it's a really well-tuned nib. It's smooth, it's wet, it has just a hair of feedback. Not a huge amount of bounce, but very well tuned, especially for the price of this pen. Our ink. Again, it's a pre-filled ink, so I'm gonna just call it a Pilot Black. And for flex, I'm gonna turn the page. No real line variation to be had here. Again, it's a pretty stiff nib. And for reverse writing. Actually, very smooth. And the feed really kept up without any issue. So I would say if you are looking for a thinner line, reverse writing is certainly in the cards for this pen. So what do I think of the Pilot Varsity? I'm a big fan of this pen. It's extremely affordable. You can usually get this on the market for under $5 US. The plastic that it's made of is very durable. This is actually one of the first fountain pens that I ever purchased, and I've had this in junk drawers, at the bottom of backpacks, and it really hasn't had any terrible scratches, dents, or nicks along the way. It's available in many different colors, as I mentioned, which is great because it is a pre-filled pen. And the fact that it is pre-filled means that it's an extremely easy pen with a very low barrier to entry. You just unbox it, uncap it, and you can write. And as I mentioned, the nib is very well tuned. It's smooth, it's wet, and honestly, it writes better than many fountain pens that cost 5 to 10 times as much as this one. Also, the cap does a really great job at sealing off this nib. I've misplaced these pens over the years, and I've come back to them after over a year without writing, and I uncap it and they write first time, which is truly remarkable. Now, is it the perfect pen? No, I think there's certainly room for improvement, even at this price point. Probably my biggest issue with this pen is the fact that it is designed to be disposable. One of my favorite aspects of the fountain pen hobby is that we keep, cherish, and maintain items that are often discarded and only one-time use objects, like pens. So the fact that this is disposable makes me a little bit sad. And also, I think that this clip, even though it is very functional and practical, there is possibly room where this could break over time. The way that this flexes is called a living hinge in the plastic industry, and oftentimes you'll start seeing whitening around where that bends, and that means that it's about to crack. But with that being said, I've had these pens for many years and haven't had any issues with that, so it may be a moot point. And then the last room for improvement for me with this pen is the nib. Even though it is beautifully tuned, as I mentioned, it's only offered in medium, and I feel like that's a miss for Pilot. It would have been nice if this was offered in a fine or an extra fine, so people who are new to fountain pens or just hunting for something to write with are able to use this pen on lower quality paper. But with that being said, I do really love this pen. It's an excellent model that's extremely affordable, and it's really a fantastic introduction to fountain pens for people who are curious. There's a very low barrier to entry. You don't have to worry about filling systems or even cartridges. You just buy this pen, open it up, and write with it. And for me, I will hand this over to anyone that's curious with fountain pens without hesitation. If they were to damage it in some way, I'm only out a few US. So for me, this has become a must-buy and a real staple in my collection. I always keep one of these in backpacks and in junk drawers, so if I am searching for something to write with, I'm offered with a fantastic writing experience. And that just leaves me to say, Thank you for watching.